Okay. Hello everyone. So today we are going to do about the chapter motion, and here you see the chapter motion has been written. So motion, we generally know the English meaning of the word motion means anything which is moving. Okay. So anything which is moving. So we are observing that from somewhere. We are standing at a place and it is moving. So we say that the object is moving. But to identify it correctly, we should first identify the observation point. For example, if you are sitting in a train, then the train is actually moving, you are also moving, but with respect to you, if you take yourself as the observer, then the passengers who are sitting over there in the train, they are not moving, they will seem to you as if they are stationary. Whereas the objects which are outside, they will seem to you as if they are moving in the backward direction. So whenever you see motion, motion is always a relative term. That means if you observe an object moving, you observe it with respect to some point, some observation point. Okay. So if someone says it may be that an object is moving in someone's point of view and it may be stationary in someone else's point of view. Okay. It depends on where the observer is located. Now, so first we understood that motion, it is a relative term. That means from where we are observing the object, then depending on that we say whether the object is moving or not. Now here we see motion. So motion is when an object changes position with respect to time. Now in the general English, if I ask you what is the meaning of motion, then you tell that the object is moving. How we identify that the object is moving, how I am going to identify that the object is moving. So see here, I have taken a road, okay, and on the road a car or a bus has been shown as moving. So you can see the different places on the road, they have been marked with the points. So you can take the markings, or for example we have different units, we can take kilometer, meter, centimeter, depending on the situation what we are dealing with. For example, if we are dealing with the crawling of an insect, then over that in that situation we can take centimeters or millimeters. So here I have considered few points. Okay. So these points, they have been considered with the reference of point A. So here we are considering this point A as the reference point or the starting point. Okay. And later on we will come to know that this how it relates to the coordinates. Now see, when I observed at some time the bus was standing at this place A. Okay. Then suppose after 3 minutes, at here time t equal to 0, I observed the bus to be here at point A. Then after some time, suppose after 3 minutes, okay, after 3 minutes I saw the bus to be at this point D. Okay. So D can be another city, it can be another place, so whatever it can be. So the bus is now at point D. So with time, here the time has already elapsed, suppose the time has elapsed to 3 minutes. So now I observe that with the passage of time, this bus is changing its position, which is changing from A to B, C to D. In this way the object is changing its position. So in terms of physics, now I can say that the bus has some motion. Okay. So bus has some motion, and this is what that when we say that motion has been done, it has motion. So any object which changes its position with respect to time, we say that it has motion. Now we understood what is motion. Then we come to how to describe motion. Okay. So anything how to describe motion? Describing motion. So how to describe motion? How can you tell the different characteristics of motion? Okay. So different characteristics. So like if I tell you the characteristics of some people, so you may say depending on his color, you may identify him. Depending on his knowledge, depending on his characteristics, his behavior, you can identify. So similarly, there are different things which you deal while describing motion. So to describe motion, there are two things that we have already encountered, which we use to describe motion. So these are, the first one is your position, and then next is your time. So these are the two things that we have already encountered. So to describe motion, we first need the position of an object. we first need to identify the position, and after that we need to identify the time. So these are the two things that we initially need to describe motion. Now when we know these two things, there are other things which can be obtained from it. Okay. And what are those other things that we can obtain from it? First, your position. So position is not fixed. If I refer this B as the reference point, then B will be my 0. So you can choose your reference point. Here my reference point is A, so the object is moving, or the bus is moving from A and it has moved to D. So it has changed its position from A to D, and if you mark it on coordinates, so I can consider this to be point 0 and point D to be 3. So here the position has changed from 0 to 3, okay, and time has changed from 0 to 3. So now the change of position, if we are considered with the change of position, so here we have two terms which relate to it, change of position. The first one is your distance, and then you have the displacement. Now these are the two terms which measure that how much position have you changed. Okay. So for example, here the bus has moved from A to D. So it has covered a distance of, here it is 1 unit, 1 unit and 1 unit. So it has covered a distance of 3 units. So we say here the distance is 3 units. Now what is distance? We have already studied in our previous classes. Many times we have referred to as distance. Now here there is a slight change, there is a slight difference between distance and displacement. So distance, it is basically, distance is the length of path. Distance is length of path traveled by an object. So the actual length of the path traveled by an object, it is the distance. For example, here the bus started from A, it moved to D. Okay. So it has covered a distance of 3 units. Now if it moves from D again to A, so from D it is moving to A, it is returning back. So it has covered while returning. So while returning, the distance is return. The distance will come out to be 6 units. It has covered a distance of 6 units. Okay. But here is another word. Let us see what is that. Displacement. So displacement is not considered with how we are going. It is just considered at which position you are. So displacement, for example, here if we say from A it has traveled to D, so the displacement, and displacement is here 3 units. Now you will say that what is the difference? Both are 3 units. So actually displacement, it is the shortest path. It is the shortest path between initial and final positions. Shortest path between initial and final position. Okay. So displacement is the shortest path between initial and final positions. So here my initial position is A and final position is D. So the shortest path between initial and final position is 3 units. Okay. So it is the shortest path between initial and final position along with the direction. Along with direction. So here moving from A to D is different from moving from D to A. So if the object is moving from A to D, so it has covered a displacement of 3 units along AD. Okay, it is moving from AD. So here we will write 3 units along AD. So displacement has direction. It is along with direction. So displacement, in this you have to just check the initial position, final position, you don't care about which path the object has followed. You don't care whether it has gone this way or this way. No, you just have to find out the initial position, final position, and what is the shortest path. Now we will see with more examples how we can find out this displacement. Now see, considering the second case, when the bus has moved from A to D, and after D it is returning back to A. So after D it has returned back to A. So this obviously it has covered a distance of 6 units. Distance 6 units. 3 units it has gone and 3 units it has returned. So distance is 6 units. Now if you take up the displacement is the shortest path between initial and final position. So here it started from A, so this is the initial position, and it went to D, again returned back to A. So its final position is also A. Now its initial and final position, they are same. So what will be the shortest path between initial and final? It will be 0, because the point where it started, it has ended up at the same point. So here the displacement that comes is displacement is equal to 0. So here the displacement will be 0. Okay. So you got this point, that distance, it is the length of the path travelled, and displacement, it is the shortest path between the initial and the final points. So along with the direction, so in displacement you also have to tell the direction. Now consider the same example, and let's find out a few more distances and displacement. So starting from A, the bus reached D. Now suppose after D it returns back to B. It does not return to A, it returns to the point B. Here this is the final position. So this is the final position. Okay. So the distance that it has covered is, distance is the length of path travelled. So what is the total path that it has travelled? From A to D it has travelled 3 units, and from D to B it has travelled from D to B. So this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit. So it becomes a total of 3 plus 2, 5 units. So here the distance comes, the distance is 5 units. Okay. Now if you say the displacement, here what will be the displacement? So the displacement will be, now our initial position is A and final position is B. So the displacement is now, if you see here displacement is now just 1 unit. Displacement is 1 unit along AB or towards AB, we can say. Now consider, here is some other point. Here there is some other point, let's say point O, and the bus started from A, travelled to D, and from D it travels to O, which is just if we mark it on the number line, so it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here it will be minus 1, and similarly here it will be minus 2, because from here if we are observing, so this is our front direction, we take it to be the positive direction, then the positions which are behind it, they will be taken as the negative. So now if bus started from this point A, travelled to D, and then suppose it returns back to O. So now this is not the final position. Now the final position is here. So this is the final position. O is the final position. So what we observe here, see, the distance that it has travelled a distance of 3 units from A to D, and from D to O it has travelled 4 units. So it makes a total of distance. Now if you see here distance, so distance will be 3 plus 4, which will be 7 units. It has travelled a distance of 7 units. And if you find the displacement over here, okay, so if you see here displacement, so for displacement you just have to look at the initial position and the final position. So here initial position was A, and this is the final position. And how much is the displacement? Displacement is just the 1 unit. Okay. So displacement is 1 unit. It is 1 unit, but direction is towards AO. So toward AO, A to O, it is in the backward direction. So either you write it toward AO, or you can also write it as -1 unit. So displacement is now -1 unit. So now in this topic we understood between differences between distance and displacement, okay, and how we can find out the distance and displacement. So the basic differences that we have understood here is the distance is the total length, distance is the length of the path traveled by an object, whatever path it follows. Then displacement, it is the shortest path between the initial and final position. So here for displacement you have to refer only to the initial and final position. It is not dependent on which path it is following. Thank you.